Bill, what inspired you to write the song around carbon farming?
Well, it's a fantastic way to get a message across, or at least attract some interest in the messages we have about the carbon farming initiative. And I guess it was prompted by the success, if you like, of the radish video that we produced about 12 months ago that went crazy. We've had something close to 24,000 views now, which is just tremendous for an agricultural video. And but what that radish song did was create some interest from growers and advisors to go and find out more about herbicide-resistant radish. So I'm hoping this song on carbon and carbon farming will do the same to the carbon farming initiative, to get people talking about what they can do to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to slow the global warming.
So how does this idea of creating a YouTube song fit in with the project that we currently got running with advisors across South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania?
Well, the project we've got is aimed at getting advisors trained in and improving their understanding in the carbon farming story. It's about having the dialogue with farmers that they work with on an everyday basis about how the practices they engage on farm can not only improve productivity but actually have an impact on greenhouse gas emissions and slow global warming. So this song is really aimed to be the hook, if you like, to create some interest to get that dialogue going. So we've spent 12 months, a little longer, training ourselves as advisors in the space of the carbon farming initiative, and now it's time to really go and have that dialogue and find out more and discuss the issue more with the growers we work with on an everyday basis.
So what do you think the value of the song will be in terms of creating that extra?
Well, one of the things that I hope it's the hook. I hope it gets people saying, like as we saw with the radish song, Bill, what's this carbon farming initiative about? What do you mean about what's carbon farming? What do I do? You know, just like the radish song created the dialogue about, well, what do I need to do about herbicide-resistant radish populations I might have on my farm? So it's the hook. It's getting people engaged in the initial dialogue to have the discussion.
So, Bill, do you think people listen to the song or listen to the message within the song?
Hopefully both. I mean, again, it's there's I think some good messages in the song. I think the lyrics are pretty good. Just makes people aware that we can do something. Then the message in the song is that there's not some big step change that we can make. It's just doing the little things, you know, reducing fuel use a bit, being a bit more efficient with fertilisers, doing the little things that cumulatively as an industry will have a big impact on greenhouse gas emissions and global warming.
So what can we expect from this song? Is it going to be a little catchy tune that we're all going to be humming to ourselves as we stroll around the paddocks?
I hope so. I hope it's an earworm. I hope you listen to it more than once. You listen to it a few times. It's a song based on John Butler's Revolution, so it's a kind of catchy song that I like. It's sort of indie rock. It's kind of I think appealing to lots of age groups. So hopefully you'll enjoy the music, but sure, there's some messages there, and really it's a song to try and inspire some interest, to start us thinking about what we might do on farm a little differently to save the planet ultimately.
So you think it'll appeal to the young generation of farmers coming through?
Well, my kids tell me it will. It's probably and possibly more likely to appeal to them than perhaps the older generations, and yet it's the older generations, or the guys in their 40s to 60s that are really running farms that can make a decision now to do something. And they're the ones that need to heed the message, because we are the last generation of farmers that have an opportunity to change what we do, to have an impact on the planet, to save the farm and to be able to hand on the farm to the next generation in a better state than we got it in. And if we don't do that now, the next generation won't have the opportunity to hand the farm on in a better state to the next generation. It will be too late.
Do you think it's going to help overcome some of the issues we have around the scepticism around the link between greenhouse gas emissions and the changing climate we're seeing?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I hope it will. I think like many farmers and advisors, we've all become a bit, lethargic in this in doing something. We all feel a bit helpless. The problem is so big that we think, well, big deal. What difference will we make, and why bother? And really, we're in a kind of state of denial. Like we don't want to see climate change happen, particularly in southern Australia. It means that we will be farming in, with warmer temperatures, 3 to 4 degrees on average, higher temperatures than we have now. We're seeing these records broken all the time, and yet we still have an element of the farming community and the general population that think climate change isn't real, global warming isn't happening. And I think, how can you do that? Particularly farmers need to think about it. So instead of kind of burying our heads in the sand and thinking, look, it's no point, I hope this will inspire people to think again, to have another think. It is our last opportunity to do something and to get inspired and lead the future generations, to demonstrate to our kids we can do something as a collective, group of people and lead the way.